Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again. As always, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about our favourite subject here on this channel, and that, of course, is the boat people. But it's something a little different this time. We're not going to be talking about the barbarism, the sadism, the brutality, and the perversion this time. We're going to be talking about undocumented men being dumped in their small villages up and down England, 9 times out of 10, most of the time, without prior knowledge of the residents that are already living there. We have an example here of a small village outside Windsor Castle who have had undocumented men dumped in their village, and they are up in arms about it. They are threatening to sell up because it's been turned into a quote-unquote hellhole, which is quite understandable. Who would want to live next door to a bunch of undocumented men hanging around the local school? Because let's face it, that does happen on many occasions, as it has been stipulated in many news articles over the past few years. So let's read what they've been saying, shall we? Furious residents claim their village in the shadow of Windsor Castle has been turned into a hellhole after asylum seekers were moved into its hotel. They fear genteel Datchet in Berkshire will lose its quintessential country feel, house prices will tumble and businesses will struggle. Their outcry comes after the Manor House Hotel was turned into a holding centre for migrants awaiting a decision on their asylum applications. Now this I cannot understand. I cannot wrap my head even around this. If you break into this country, if you break the law and don't come through the legal means like everybody else usually does, you should not get an asylum application. You should get an immediate stamp of rejection and booted straight out of the country, because you have got here by breaking the law. Hundreds of thousands of people come to this country legally every year. People can whinge and moan and scream and stamp their feet that there are no legal means to get into this country. Well, how do you explain last year 750,000 of them coming via legal means? It's horseshit. It's a smokescreen. There are plenty of legal ways to get into this country, as the numbers will attest to. One man reveals he has put his home on the market after claiming the conversion was the latest sign that the village is being run down by the authorities. Pub staff, meanwhile, claim they are suffering loss of custom when the 19th century hotel's owners swapped tourist and wedding guests for refugees. Now, I want to come back to that momentarily, guys, because it's something I want to talk about. Others say the village where the king is driven through daily feels less safe because groups of men hang around the pretty village green. And I'm pretty sure it's not only the pretty village green they are hanging around. Like I say, these villages tend to have a small local school within them, and they tend to fester around there as well, with beer cans in hand, cigarettes, and shitty clothing. I've seen the pictures, I've heard the stories. One homeowner even said, "I put my house on the market. I've had enough. This has been such a nice village. It's been safe, and it's been left to go rack and ruin. It's just become a living hellhole." He pointed out that a 200-bed hotel in the village centre was used as an asylum accommodation previously, reverted to hotel use, then back to refugees. The government claims it wants to avoid housing asylum seekers in hotels, but is currently short on beds for them at the moment. Let's quote what Angela Rayner said during the summertime, June or July time. She said, and I quote, that Britain will take its fair share of migrants, meaning they're going to be spread far and wide. So they are not interested in stopping the hotels. They're not interested in putting them in army barracks. They are interested in getting them into social housing as quickly as possible, where white British families take a back seat who have been council waiting lists for absolute years. It's a fucking travesty, guys. It's the second time it's happened. The homeowners said they can't guarantee these people are vetted or where they come from precisely. You don't know who they are or what they've been doing in their own country of origin, and why they are on the run, and why they want to break into our country so badly. The authorities are not interested in Datchet or the villages surrounding Windsor. There's no money coming into it. Exactly. They're all falling apart. There's litter everywhere. The only time you see anyone from the council is when they're giving out parking tickets, of course, to pay for the council Christmas piss up. Same with police officers and traffic wardens. We've been left to rot while Maidenhead gets all the investment. There's no infrastructure here. Pensioner Alan Allister, who lives in the village with his wife Pauline, said, "We have no problem with the men themselves. They're only saying that because the reporter's asking them. They don't dare say they've got a problem with these men because you know why. Well, we all know why. He's going to be labelled a racist or a xenophobe, and the poor old guy probably doesn't want that. Probably fought, I don't know, maybe lived through the Second World War or whatever. He fought for freedoms, liberty, and all the rest of it that men did fight for in the war, and he doesn't want that sullied by useless, pointless names that the leftists will throw at this poor guy. He does have a problem with these men. He just doesn't have the balls to say it because he's scared stiff. But it's just a system that needs changing. We're not happy about it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yes, there is something you can do about it, my old pal. Get outside and protest. Block the roads, block the entrance to the hotels, like the people in Wales did when there was a potential load of migrants getting in their hotel. They camped out there for weeks on end. And you know what? They won. That hotel remains migrant free. There is plenty you can do, my old friend. So, anyway, guys, getting back to what I wanted to talk about midway through this story, about the hotel owner giving it up his guests and wedding functions for refugees. It's all down to the money. He has to be held it's partly to blame for giving up his hotel simply for money. He's been bought out by the government. He's been given a little sweetener package. Tell you what, we'll give you so many thousands of pounds per month if you turn your hotel. Excuse me, guys, my telly's turning off. If you turn your hotel into a dossel for the waifs and strays of the west of the world. That's what it is, you see. There are certain hotel owners up and down the country, particularly in Skegness. Skegness is one part of it, that refuse this pot of gold that the government offers these people, this handsome load of money. I mean, it is quite a significant amount to give up your hotel for these refugees. But some people are saying no. They want the purity of their towns to carry on. They don't want them sullied with undocumented people making the place look untidy and hanging around schools and potentially committing crimes and drinking beer and dropping cigarette ends everywhere. They want it to remain clean and nice like it always used to be. They stand on their own 2 feet, they rely on tourism, but the fact of the matter is, as soon as they let these migrants in, the tourism will fail, the hotels will close, and it will turn into a shanty town, much like some of the northern seaside towns where I was from. Blackpool, Morecambe, much the same happened there. Tourism stopped and it went down the fucking drain. Now it's just full of drugs, crime and no marks. That's about it, guys. Please do let me know what you think in the comments. This isn't going to end anytime soon. Like I've said before, where I live, in this small village where I live, there are no migrants here, but that's not going to last. We are not going to get away with it at all. Some of them will arrive, and I can predict they're going to arrive within the next few years. We are going to be swamped with them because there's quite a few hotels around our village as well, unoccupied, that will be bought up by Keir Starling and the rest of the Rintford rejects. No one is safe. If you ain't got any, you will get some soon enough. Believe me, no one is stopping this. It will not be stopped ever until, I don't know, I have no idea until what, but something has to give somewhere. We are bursting at the seams. Our healthcare infrastructure is crumbling around us. Public services can't cope. We are simply full. You ask any supermarket manager or anyone that works in sewerage works, we have a lot more than 68 million people living in this country, believe me. Some people predict we have somewhere close to 90 million pounds in such a small, tiny island such as this. Anyway, guys, once again, thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments as always, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.